Hello everyone, and welcome to this speed paint tutorial slash walkthrough. I've pre-recorded this video. I was talking during it, but something went wrong with the recording, so I didn't record voice, and also the quality is quite low, so I apologize for the low resolution in advance. So instead of me commenting live to what I'm doing, I will be doing a voiceover for this. So what you're looking at now is a sketch that I prepared. I didn't really find it necessary to show you the entire sketching process since this is all about speed painting. And to begin with, I'm just blocking in very rough shapes where I want the light part of the face, the dark part of the face to be. You can see that I have a palette prepared on both sides. Wow. Something weird happened with my voice. Yeah, just blocking in general shapes, adding some shadows. Still being very rough, using the sketch as guidelines or a base, not sticking to it 100%. Starting with the dark side of the face. Playing with values. Now, this video is slightly sped up, so it's not real time. In total, this whole thing took me about an hour. And the whole thing is painted with just the standard soft round brush in Photoshop, with everything set to pen pressure. That is my brush of choice, especially when speed painting, because it gives you very nice soft edges. It's very easy to blend with if you're light on your pressure. Refining shapes around the eyes. So the thing that I've noticed about speed paints is that it's mostly about where I place my details, and the only excuse me, the only things that I really detail are the eyes, the nose, and the mouth a little bit, because it doesn't need as much detail to read. And the coloring for a very long time is very flat. I like to use layers for that, with the color layers in blend modes, color overlay. What's that adjustment layer called? Color balance. So I am hinting at color at the beginning, but I'm mostly focusing on values. And I'm adding in the highlights. The inner corner of the eye, the tip of the nose, kind of along the nose ridge, and above the lips, the philtrum, and on the cheekbone, maybe the brow bone, depending on the lighting, and the forehead are the places that really benefit from the highlights and help make it come to life a little bit more. And I can see me adding a little bit of warmth to the colder side of the face and some cold to the warmer side of the face. So I'm pretty much... Excuse me. Wow, this is annoying. I'm so sorry. So pretty much I pick colors from opposite sides of the face and implement them into the other side. So the highlights from the cold side and shadows from the warm side in this case. I also added some red to the cheeks and a little bit to the nose. And defining the jawline and the cheekbones. I tend to define those a little bit too much, but I know that I'll go back in and highlight it, and then it'll be a very nice blend from dark to light. Now by this point, I haven't noticed yet that the eyes are actually really crooked. I will notice it later in the process, and I will fix it. And I like to zoom in and out a lot to make sure that... So the most important part is that the general shapes read well. And the detailing is kind of the icing on the cake, I suppose. Because you do want to be able to zoom in and it still look good. Blocking in the hair. I start with just single color, blocking it in. Because I still have the sketch layer on top, I can see the shapes that I've kind of mapped out when I was sketching. And that'll help me later on. I will lower the opacity of the sketch layer significantly and almost completely paint out the sketch lines. But whilst I'm still in the process of blocking in shapes, facial shapes, hair shapes, I like to keep it there. Just saves me some thinking while I'm painting. Blocking in some shadows. I was probably checking what that layer did. It's me turning my my palette on and off. This is where I've lowered the sketch layer. As you can see, it's a lot more faint. It's still there. And you can keep it if it suits your style. Keep the sketch, because it does save you from having to add the details that you're now having to add with paint or by painting. I like to take them out personally. depending on what style I'm painting in, but for realism, I like the slightly softer edges that the brushes give you. So aside from the detailing that I do to mostly the eyes, everything else is suggestive strokes. And you can see it right here on the eyebrows, for example. I will add a little bit more more detailing than what you see now, but most of it is just strokes. It's really funny now looking back at it. That eye is really annoying me. I hope I fix it soon. Ah, there is the color balance. I think I set it to color. It's my other favorite thing to do. Put a color layer over it, set it to multiply, and then add in highlights. I'm pretty sure I didn't like the color and I'm gonna change it. Yeah, there I go. Now you don't have to do this, the multiplying and then adding in the highlights again. I just find that it adds a little bit more depth to the painting. And obviously I could have started darker, but yeah, it was speed painting. You kind of wing it. Make it up as you go along. This is not the way I speed paint. It all depends. Just kind of go with it every time. Try new things and find new ways to get certain results. I thought the eyes and the mouth were standing out a bit too much, so I went over that with a very, very light touch of the skin color. Kind of blend them in a little bit more. And move on to the hair. I know the video isn't quite low quality, for which I've already apologized. I'm just gonna do it again. But at the end of the video, I do have the high resolution files, and I'll be zooming in, so you'll be able to see all that. Still working on that here, I think. Am I? Yes. Adding some contrast again. Eyelashes. Same for the other eye. That needs fixing. I promise I fix it. This look close up does really show the difference between the warmer side on the left that's kind of in the shadow, and the right side where the light is. Adding some details to the iris. That's pretty much the only thing you'll see me detailing in this video, the eyes. That tends to be the first thing people look at as well. It's what draws people into a painting. It's what they focus on. It's what you look for when you're talking to someone as well. The first thing you look at, most of the time, is the eyes. Or one of the first things you look at. And it's also what makes a painting look lifelike. There we go. Oh, right. Balancing out the hair first. Because it can make a lot of difference having the hair complement the face shape. Fixing. I noticed the nose was crooked as well. Better! Yeah, there you can see me go back and forth. That is definitely an improvement. Now at this point I pretty much go in and fix mistakes that I find, things that are really off. Extremely squiggly edges, things like that. And in real time, I think this took me about an hour, a little under an hour. Adding some final touches with an overlay layer. A little more contrast to the eyes. Major highlight areas in the face. And what I did at the end, you'll see that at the end, is I finished the speed paint and then saved it, and then I went back in, worked on it for a while and turned it into what I would deliver as a finished portrait. So you can see the difference between a speed paint and a fully rendered, almost fully rendered portrait. Adding some more depth to the hair with highlights. There's my color balance again. I find it's also a really easy way to add extra contrast without having to paint it. Giving it the once over. And then I believe all I do is add a layer to kind of blend it into the background. Yep, there I go. And then we sand it. Sign it, save it, print it. But then I thought it would be a good idea to show you what it would look like if I finished it. So added all the detailing. So here you can see the higher resolution zooming, the face. So you can really see that almost everything except for the eyes is suggestive strokes. The strands of hair, the eyebrows, the skin. This technique also works really well if you're using a more painterly style. So there's the speed paint. And that is what it looks like. When I added all the detailing, worked on it for a little bit longer before and after. So you can see I added pores, skin texture, freckles, the hair is fully rendered, eyebrows are more detailed. So that was a speed paint, also towards the end with a finished piece. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment, thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!